Hi guys, my name is Mark and this is my favorite stove plate. Let's go! So as I told you already, that's not a joke. This is a mousepad by SKYPAD. Also, I used it in my kitchen, as you can see here on my Twitter post right now. And it's so hard that it did not broke or break after it falls down for 1.5 meters from my kitchen desk, from the microwave. And it is also so hard that it made a very big hole into my wooden floor, which is a very expensive wooden floor, and now it has a very deep hole. And yeah, it did not get broken by this. So I can tell you already, if you drop this down off your desk, nothing will happen. And basically, when I think you the corner, the only thing what happened is like, so you see it only has some small scratches on the edge. That's basically all what happens. And like here, a little scratch in the downside here, like this. And the thing is, you see I have the white one and there's a white and the black one. This is the glass 2.0 XL SKYPAD in 37 by 45, which is 0.6 millimeter thick. And basically the hardest pad out there, because polycarbonate pads are not that hard, or basically only if it's very thick that's hard like glass. But as you hear already, that's a glass pad with very good, I don't know, maybe it's silicone or something like that, with those feet, and they are, if you have it on the desk, there's no way it will move. Also, if you use it in the kitchen, has very decent size. You can cut a lot of stuff on it. If you cut sausages, I think I cut it 1.2 kilo of meat on it without any problems, and was easy to clean after I used it in my kitchen. It's very enjoyable to use in multiple ways. But you also can use it for playing video games, because it's a mousepad, guys. It's not the most expensive glass cutting board you can buy out there. It's a mousepad too. It costs 80 euro plus 20 euro shipping. It comes from a company from Denmark. Now you also can order it with a graphic, which brings you to a price point of 110 euro plus 20 euro shipping, which is one of the most expensive hard pads out there, maybe one of the expensive pads in general I found. And I think this is the perfect match for your final mouse, for your Starlight, cause I mean, that's the best you can do. No, it's just a joke, guys. It's very expensive, and my honest opinion is that for this price point and for the market they are playing in and for the hype the SKYPADs have, I know they had Kickstarter campaigns, and my final mouse is still active, by the way. I don't know. I received it and I was like, okay. A lot of people in my stream told me, hey Mark, you're like an old player, you played a lot of polycarbonate pads from 1999 to 2005. I played Fun Surface, Everglides, Gigantos, whatever, a lot of plastic plates. And I used Caramba spray, so silicone-based sprays to even enhance the glide abilities. I used it with expensive and cheap mice. I used it with and without Teflon skates. Basically, I tried everything. Back in the days, we all played like high sense, basically mostly out of the wrist with close to palm grip. And I think people who are looking for this pad are basically people who have also experience like I had with these hard pads. maybe never stopped playing. I stopped playing from 2005 to 2019. And when I came back, I did not order a plastic pad. I just went over to Steel Series pads because I was still a Steel Series fanboy back from 2005. So I just skipped basically these hard pads forever. But I had very good intentions, or when I remember, hard pads were all the time were just joy. Fun Surface was one of my favorite pads. It had this more structured side and the more the side which was more like the Razer Sphex, which was more for glide, not for control. But I enjoyed them. And then I just came to this pad and I thought to myself, people who told me on stream were also from they were a little bit older. I wouldn't say they were boomers, but there were still people who still playing games, also like me, around 30, maybe older, maybe a little bit younger, but all in general people who enjoyed playing more hard, more fast pads. That's okay. And my intentions, or what I thought on this pad was this pad is very hyped. A lot of people saying that's one of the best speed pads. And then I go to Reddit and watch this cheat about friction and all this stuff. And this pad is basically, I think, the pad with the lowest friction on movement, or second lowest friction on movement, or whatever. And I thought, okay, must be really, really fast. But one thing, what I forgot about is when you have like a hard pad, which is really, really, really hard, which is not based on fabric. So even if it's coated, non-coated, it's rough, not rough. It's structured or it's fast or whatever, any kind of fabric has different feelings, but this as a glass hard pad, which is basically feels like on the upper side like sandblasted. I don't know, I can't clearly say how they made the roughness on the top. It's like, you can hear it. If it would be just glass, from your window, it just wouldn't sound like this. It's like roughened up to give you like control or controllable feeling. So the feeling comes over your mouse feet to your mouse, to your hand. And I have a lot of different mouse here. We just interrupted this video for a short point because I wanted to seek out some more mouse for you, or mice than I have done in the German review. It's just, I think you can hear it. One thing is, when you buy this mouse, the mouse pad here on the side, there's like a small comment. Remember to buy PTFE Teflon for best experience. Scroll down. Then it goes down and then it shows you call pads you should buy for the most common mouse types, whatever. Why they do this? I can tell you why. The surface is so hard basically that when you have bad skates, or your mouse maybe has a flaw on some skates, or the down usage of your skates is so high that it starts to scratch on some edges, or only on left or right or top or down movement, it will destroy your whole feeling for the pad. There's no way you will enjoy this pad with glides who are not very good made. I don't say they needs to be very smooth or very rounded, but they in general they need to fit to this pad, because this is the rocket jump in your mouse. We all know this from Xtrfy. It's I think now it's one of the mouse who are used very wide, very often by a lot of different people all over the world. A lot of reviews saying this is one of the best FTIF mouse out there, mass produced, whatever. I also say that's a very good design, very good mouse. And in my review I tell you that these glides, they are a little bit thicker, but they're very good rounded. But listen. I mean, only by sound, I think you can understand or can maybe imagine how it feels to play it. Yes, the friction is very low on the pad, that's for sure. It's really one of the lowest frictions on start, on stopping, and on glide in general. But the thing is, your fingers, your hand, okay, palm grip users, you're different because you just have it in hand and you just move the mouse. But for people like those claw grip gamers, like like fingertip, F-tip type gamers, we feel like the response of the mouse, of the glide, of the pad gives us, and it influences our aim, our movement, our finger, our positioning, everything. Because the extension of our brain and muscles through the F-tips to the fingertips to the just the sensoring gives us a more precise feeling what we are doing. That's why, for example, I'm 100% sure on high performance base on every game, F-tip and claw tip hybrid gamers are in aiming way above palm grip gamers. Now I know, yeah, but I know this guy from Counter-Strike, he's playing palm grip, he's got. Sure, on Counter-Strike he's got, because he's playing 15 years palm grip, 400 DPI, 250 or 200 DPI in game, palm, whatever, since he's 1 year old. That's okay, some of them can do, but most people who have very advanced aim are F-tip gamers. They play fingertip or an extended claw to finger type hybrid. And if you have this pad and you're using this XY mouse, the response you have, because of how the structure is, how the glides are, for me it's not enjoyable. And I can tell you, I have them all. I have the HATI. This feels I'm scratching something, or I try to tear down the color of my old Volkswagen Golf 2 or something like that, because I want to make new spray, or new I want to spray it new. You know, it's like. By the way, I cleaned the plate. It's cleaned. It's not dirty. There's nothing on it. It's really cleaned, and it's super light with stock. I'm not irritated by the sound, but the feeling, different types of glides, different thickness, roundness, size, all the stuff on these glides will give you a very special response on every type of mouse and gaming or a grip you have. And some of them are just not enjoyable. Here I have a very special one for you here. That's the wireless Model O with the original ceramic feet. Friction is like 0, yeah, but they are very good made. They're very good rounded. They're super clean. They have, here you can watch them. It's like they have 0 scratches. They're perfect, in perfect condition. But on this plate, it always feels on, depends on the movement, like there's something rolling under your skate, or there's something in between the mouse plate, so the glass, and between your glide. It always feels on one of the pads on a different movement on some point. You can feel it, and it's very distracting. You know. I have no clue why. And one thing I realized, you maybe think now I'm crazy or something like that. You know, I have those, the Starlight, the S1 with the floors where only 2 or 3 glides touching the pad. But I can tell you, this has by far the most enjoyable feeling on this pad. It's way above all the other mouse. Yes, it's only, I'll show you again. I think you also hear that. Sure, it's only touching with three glides, but the glides here, there's nothing to say. They're very good. They're not very thick. They're good rounded, and they're not very big in total. So also the mouse is very light compared to all the other here. It's light, and you can feel it. The thin glides, they're good made, and the mouse is light. Gives you the most advanced feeling on this pad. The sound Kaihl, for example, has also these very good glides. Also gives you a very good feeling. That's okay. We talked about this now. It's a very special feeling, and I think if you receive this pad, you will put it on the desk, put your favorite mouse on it, and you will immediately, after some minutes of playing, realize if this pad is a keeper or not. It's not like this pad will not get more beautiful or better playable over a long time. It will not improve, it will not really wear down because it's glass. Sure, it's not influenced or affected by humidity or temperature, but in general, I think every person who has a little bit experience with mouse and mousepad is able to directly feel and decide if you want to keep it or not. Which brings me to a point, I have no clue what happens when you don't want to keep it. Do you send it back to Denmark for 20 euro? I mean, you already paid 20 euro sending to your country, maybe more to your states, I don't know. But to Germany I pay 20 euro and I don't want to pay 20 euro again to just send it back because it don't fit for me. I basically bought it because a lot of people on YouTube in the comments and on my stream told me to try this out for them. And I really tried. I not only tried once, I tried on stream and I tried off stream on Kovacs also, just to try on another day if I have another feeling. Also something which this attracts me is, yes, the friction in general for your Teflon feet is low, but if you, for example, have a big arm or a sweaty arm or a sweaty hand, or your this part of your hand here is sweaty or roughened or whatever, and you move it, or while you do like this, one big problem is the more sweaty or the bigger the parts of your skin which are on the pad, the bigger the resistance is. And this also influences your aiming. And the friction on your hand, on your arm, is a part of your whole aiming. So it's okay that the friction on the glide is feels like zero. That's cool. But and if I'm not, maybe some of those palm gamers who just do this here, like out of the wrist, for them, for example, I can imagine when I hold this like this, if I would play palm, I'm Hiko, I play Valorant, and with in-game sense of 2 or something, I think he plays 1200, I don't know, man, 600 or 800 EDPI. He plays very high EDPI and he only does this when you watch him on stream. That's very enjoyable then, not gonna lie, with this mouse, if every glide would touch the pad. But as soon as I try to apex, here, my hand, when I'm doing this, it stops on the pad because of this roughness of the patch, which basically not influences the glide, but which basically influences your hand and roughens your hand a little bit off. You know, it's like, I have no idea, man. It's like, And I can remember, I don't had this on polycarbonate pads like the Fun Surface. There was nothing like this. Okay, must be fair, when I played this pad, I done this. I played like here. And I used the thickness of my underarm, that there is a little bit like space on the pad. So it's only influences a little bit, but you still can feel it. I think you can see it, how my skin is moving. And you can feel it also that you are rubbing a little bit off on the pad. Which basically brings me to one thing. If you use it a lot for some hours, your skin, the texture of your skin will get onto the pad, and it will influence after the glides of the pad also your general aim. Also, yes, it's low friction, but one thing I really missed here is I play high DPI, 1-to-1 eDPI. I play 1600 DPI with an multiplicator in-game sense of 1, so I play 1600 eDPI in-game, guys, on Apex, 1-to-1. Which gave me a huge problem, not gonna lie. Because the microcontrolling on this pad is basically, I don't know. Yes, the friction is very low, but out of the structure, it's just glass, which is like, I think, sandblasted, or I don't know how as I said, I don't know how they roughened it. it will give you a very bad microcontrol feeling. Your microcontrol is like, yes, you can do it, or it will take a lot of time to make it perfect. But if you compare it to an HATI-S mid, which is also, it's a very hard pad. Yes, it's hybrid, but it's one, I think it's, for me, it's one of the leading microcontrol pads out there. And it has also very low friction. The friction is low there, but the ability to microcontrol is so high. If you compare this to this pad, if the HATI-S is a 10, this pad is maybe a 3 or a 4 in microcontrol. You can do it a little bit, but it's far away from a good microcontrol pad. If you compare to aqua control pad, you can't compare the microcontrol here. So it brings me to one point. I think, as I said already, there are people who can use this. In my opinion, there are people who playing a low eDPI, so they play like 400 or 800 dpi outside of the game and a low multiplicator inside. So they're playing 150, 200, 250 eDPI, and they basically, in general, always move the mouse a lot. So they favor out of the low friction. So the favor here is that the muscles and in general, the ways they are, so the distance they're doing a day on the pad is not so much energy absorbing for the body and for the muscles, and the low friction gives them always a linear stable feeling. So they adapt it and play those low eDPIs on this pad very good because of the low friction. And if they play a low DPI, they have a different way to move the pixels. It's rougher than 200, 600 dpi in game. So it's also, the aim is more like dotty. And if I imagine play Apex with this pad, with low eDPI and low DPI settings in general, would be a rough time on tracking. I think that's what I often see when I watch people. It's like they let people run into the crosshair. They don't actively, or it feels like they don't actively really go on them, you know? And that's of how the pad behaves for you. And there are people outside there who will enjoy this pad. I don't say this pad is shit, but it's very special, guys. And as I said, when you have it on desk, you directly know if you want it or not. And if you think I'm misleading here, or my opinion is not the real one, or the right one, or really is different from yours, please explain me your feeling, your experience with this pad. Maybe I missed something. Put it down in the comments now. I will try to do consents with you, talk with you about this, and maybe I explain a little bit more, or I can watch on your explanation what I maybe missed. And I will always write back in my comments if there are, with this, are useful comments, not like only, oh, SKYPAD is the best. It has to be nothing, guys. There is no consents on this. But as you know, I'm open to everything. So guys, thanks for watching so far. I hope this time you see that I'm not only affected by hype or something, and I'm also very open for every kind of pet, all pets out there. But this also is a very special pet, and that's why my opinion is also very special on this one right now. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next video. Bye.